These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with RV already. If indeed their currency has depegged, we will have to see what the market thinks of their gold reserves, foreign currency, and bond reserves and GDP. It will take a bit for a new value to be established. Don't be surprised if it does not jump right away. Iraq estimated 10 days for the price to stabilize. I'm guessing it should settle by December 20th. I'm hoping for a $1.50 by December 20th. We will see what happens. All right, Nader from the Mideast article quotes Sunday, the Parliamentary Finance Committee announced the completion of the final touches of the budget and its transfer to the Prime Minister's office. Frank 26, it has to play out exactly as we're seeing it unfold. Everybody knew. You knew. I knew. Maybe some people pretended they didn't know, but the dinar is never going to come out at $3 plus, at least at 1-to-1, and then you can depeg, and everyone knew it would be a gradual float, and then on international market. For example, Forex, the rate could return to $3 plus range, or above like other Middle Eastern countries and around them. It's a brilliant plan. All right, Pimpy article quote, Parliamentary Finance announces the completion of the touches of the budget and its transfer to the Sudanese office, unquote. Pimpy says now that they have it all and all the final touches are done, they handed it out to the House of Representatives. Even though they're on recess at the moment, you could see a scenario in which they have an opportunity to go ahead and pass this budget before the end of the year. They will call an emergency session and vote on that sucker. It'd be a great way to start the year. Claire article quote, the talk of exchange rate invades the Iraqi sessions and the currency auction is the window for whitening the dollar. Quote, the talk of the exchange rate of the dollar has become the most prominent one being circulated by Iraqis who are disaffected by the continued escalation of prices. All right, Mark Z via PDK, I think this one is a key piece for Iraq to be ready for revaluation. Article quote, the central bank is launching an electronic platform for buying and selling the dollar next month, unquote. Mark Z says, reading between the lines, I think this is an important step if they're going to handle a revaluation some size to make sure these currencies are not questionable, that someone won't exchange millions in terrorist dollars, and it will protect the rate for those at the bottom of the economic totem pole. I think this one is a serious tell for us and how close we are getting. A lot of phenomenal things happened this weekend in Iraq, so I am very upbeat. All right, Paulette says, in my opinion, restructuring and RI are two separate events which could occur simultaneously or weeks apart. For many reasons, I believe it will be weeks apart. I've always believed that, ideally, for the benefit of Iraq, restructuring will occur prior to Parliament passing the budget, and RI will occur after the budget becomes law. Walking Stick via Frank 26. That's from Walking Stick's Iraqi bank partner and friend update. Walking Stick question, have you heard anything about the 20K notes? The bank friend said, yes, they were assigned to us last month, but there was never a firm commitment on the release of the 20K notes. So far, we have no further update concerning the 20K. Militiaman article quote, the Iraqi Trade Bank announces the recovery of 1,500 billion dinars, unquote. Militiaman says the amount of funds being recovered to Iraq from corruption is staggering in totality. The trillions of dinars being returned will support their exchange rate internationally. Caparoni says they're talking about the increasing the dollar sales through the auction, which will raise the value of the dinar back to what it was a year ago, around $11.70 to $1. Mark Z via PDK, we're expecting our taxes to be paid under a treaty, but all bets are off if Iraq does not, if Iraq does a float. We still expect no taxes on your transaction because it's a currency exchange on foreign currency, as I understand it, but we will all be seeking advice from a lot of tax professionals if it floats instead of a full-blown reset. Just be prepared, and a note, of course, please consult with your tax professionals at the appropriate time to determine the right taxes for your unique circumstances. And lastly, Frank 26 question, how close are we? We're as close as your dandruff is to your hair. We're as close as your breath is to your lungs, says Frank. Frank says, we are very close in my opinion. We've been wanting to see the things that we're seeing in print, and that's what puts us in a very positive mood and a good direction.